Hey there, business building warriors. It's your buddy Jim with a super short episode. I basically am just letting you know, for those who listen only to our podcast and don't really hang out maybe in the Facebook groups or get a whole lot of email from us, which there's some of you out there, and you really should be in our Facebook group and you really should be on our mailing list, but I know not everybody is. Some of you only listen to the podcast, and that's cool. But I wanted to make sure you didn't miss out on something. You see, we're giving away for the next few days as you're listening to this episode. If you're listening to it as it comes out, each new episode, you're going to really benefit from it, because what we're doing is we're giving away our best-selling book. It's in version 10. You may have heard us talk about it. It is the book that this podcast is named after. You can get details on the book at silentsalesmachine.com if you'd like, but we're giving it away free for the next few days. There is a link in the show notes that you can use to go grab the book. And I'm going to stick it below this video if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening to this, you'll see the link in the show notes if you go to silentjim.com/podcast. Now, here's the deal. We're only doing it for 5 days. So if you're listening to this more than 5 days after this episode came out, you're going to have to pay a few dollars for the book. And trust me, it's worth it. You can see literally hundreds of 5-star reviews for this book on Amazon. You can't fake that. Hundreds of business building warriors from around the world have used this book as the launching pad. Well, actually, thousands have used it, but hundreds have left 5-star reviews, which is very unusual for a business book to get hundreds of 5-star reviews. So thank you. It's spent a lot of time as the #1 best-selling internet marketing business book on Amazon. It is a book that's packed full of not my ideas and my stories, but the stories of this incredible community. Because remember, guys, I've been doing this for 16 plus years full-time, for 18 plus years if you count the goofing around hobby years before I went full-time. And this book chronicles the best ideas, the stuff that works right now. There's no fluff. It jumps right in and says, hey, there's 3 ways to use the internet creatively to build a great business. I use all 3. We talk to people on this podcast all the time that use all 3. My son uses all 3 strategies, but all you need is one of them to work to build an incredible multiple income stream strategy. But that's what the book is about. It'll adjust your mindset. It'll steer you away from the ideas that don't work and steer you into the ideas that do work. And there's a reason it's getting all those 5-star reviews, and it's free for the next 5 days. If you're listening to this podcast the day it came out, it's free, and it will be free for 4 days after today as well. But like I said, if you click the link and you end up having to pay a few dollars for it, it's still very much worth the investment. So I just wanted to let you know the book is free. That's all I've got for you today on the podcast, a super short episode. If you were hoping to get more out of each episode, I apologize. That's all I was going to do on this one. What I suggest you do is go back in and scroll back a few episodes. Because the nice thing about this podcast is it's evergreen, meaning we commit to making 80 to 90% of the content that we put into this podcast something that you can listen to anytime, and it will be good advice. For example, the Silent Sales Machine book that I just told you about, it's very rare in the industry, but you may have noticed. I'm holding it up for those of you watching on YouTube. It says 10th edition. 10th edition. It's had the same title for 10 different releases. And now those of you who have read any of the older versions, you know that you get the free updates every time we update the book. And I'm going to begin working on the latest updates, all the new cool stories we have to tell. They'll be going into the next version. All the good lessons we've learned in the last year and a half since this one came out. You're going to get that for free too. If you purchase or grab the book at any point and you register as having got the book, you get all future versions free. So people who are hearing me talk about the Silent Sales Machine book 5 years ago, 8 years ago, that's still a relevant evergreen topic because the book is still there, still has the same title. We're not a launch, release new stuff all the time. We just keep making the stuff we already have better and more relevant. That's a theme around here. Another example of that is our Proven Amazon course. It's not the same course it was 8 years ago when we launched it. Same name. No one's paid a dime. If they bought the Proven Amazon course 8 years ago, they haven't paid us another dime for our Amazon content. We just keep improving it, updating it, putting new content in. You see where I'm going? That's how I can say this is evergreen, because we use the same names for the stuff that we do. It's evergreen. So go back a few episodes, scroll back in time, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and listen to some of the old podcast episodes. If this one wasn't enough meat for you today, hey, jump back in time and listen to some of the old stuff. There are some incredible success stories from our community. We dive into specific, actionable content in each episode. And do us a little favor if you don't mind. The only way word spreads about this podcast is if a couple things happen. That's if you spread the word, share it with somebody else, or leave us a comment or a feedback. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. We've got a lot of positive feedback from you guys on YouTube. Jump in there, leave us a comment. Hey, let me know what other topics you'd like us to talk about. I can tell you this, though. We have the next 5 to 8 podcast episodes that are coming up are some incredible content, guys. Just beautiful stuff that we have lined up for you. You're really going to enjoy them. But hey, we still want to hear your ideas. If there's something that's bugging you, you have a question about the industry, we're always open to getting ideas. But man, we have a pipeline of some powerful episodes coming. But that's all I had for you today. You can go to silentsalesmachine.com and see the details of this book and see literally over 1,000, I believe, testimonials from people who have read the book. Or jump over to Amazon, just search for it by title. Or if you want to get it free, use the link that's just below this YouTube video if you're watching on YouTube. Or if you're listening only on a podcast app or listening on some other platform, there's a link near the show notes as well. Or go to silentjim.com/podcast. Look for this episode and you'll see the link for the free book. Hope you'll take advantage of it. Yes, feel free to share it. Pass it around. Email all your friends. We're giving it away absolutely free the next few days. So take advantage of that. Okay. Hey, God bless you, business building warrior. We're so glad that you took a few minutes to hang out with me today. Help us spread the word. We'll keep praying for you and praying for your success. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Your success is how I measure my success. And when it happens, please send us your success story. Maybe you'll be our next guest on the podcast. You don't have to be a 7-8 figure earner to be a guest. We love people who have seen a major breakthrough. I love seeing people go from just starting to building something that they get excited about. Hey, we'll have you on the show. So send us your story. All right, I'm going to sign off right here. Talk to you real soon. God bless.